Welcome to Friday Night with Anthony White. I am Anthony White, the Orange Tie Guy, and I wanted to be able to do a commemoration to Daddy. I have just recently come across Caesar Milan, who is the dog whisperer. I have Disney Plus, and they got National Geographic's, I guess, had a contract and had him on their channel. I guess that's a part of Disney Plus now. But anyway, I was bored one night, needed to break from work and kind of just get my mind on something else. I've started watching like Dr. Pol, and didn't really want to see any C-sections from cows or anything like that. And so I was like, you know what? Something friendly, loving, kind, whatever it is. And I started watching The Dog Whisperer, and I got to tell you, it was crazy how awesome. I mean, that's really the only thing I can really say is how awesome that show is. And it's awesome because it's got universal properties. I mean, in my opinion, it's got spiritual elements, it's got eternal elements, it's just got, when it comes down to it, true principles. And he talks about energy and he talks about it with dogs. And Caesar Milan has like a dog rehabilitation center. So he at one time can have like, I don't know, 30 dogs like in this place. And it's awesome to see just in real life like what's happening. And I mean, I'm into like 4 seasons now because I watched one and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to watch another and another and another. Anyway, I'm not necessarily here to promote The Dog Whisperer, but he has this dog and he is just, I'm in love with him. Unfortunately, because it says memorial to Daddy, Caesar's Way, Daddy passed away. It looks like it was in 2019. And again, like I said, I'm catching up to this, but this dog is just, he's beautiful. He's a pit bull, and I mean, I'm in love with him. I mean, I want my own daddy, and he's gorgeous. And he is just the sweetest little thing when you watch it, and he is just, I mean, he's just happy and it's just awesome. I love it. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of bring this into this whole concept because one of the big elements that I like to do, because I'm in it all, I guess you could say. I mean, except for sports, except for politics, except for, other things. I'm all about mentality. I'm all about energy. I'm all about just the concept of being able to take what is given to us, a God given gift, and that's choice, agency, right? Where we can choose to act or react however we want in our days. And one of the biggest keys that I pick up specifically with this show is that Caesar just talks about how you need to be, a pack leader. You need to be the alpha male or female. It doesn't matter. You can be a pack leader, you can be a female, you could be a male. And as I'm watching this show, I'm like, this is what I'm talking to people about doing with their own lives, about their own presence, their mentality, their approach. And it's interesting because it seems like always the problem with dogs are their owners, and it's the anxiety, it's the frustration, it is the fear that their owners project. And it's an energy that he talks about. And he says they can feel that. I mean, I would even go into the sense of like whether it's, a scent that you give off, right? Like if you're tense or nervous, you start to sweat, right? You smell a little different. I mean, dogs, they connect with each other by smell, right? Some dogs have that difficulty and stuff. And so, I mean, it's just fascinating. So I wanted to talk about energy. I'm typically in public or in front of the camera. I'm a very energetic, very lively person because honestly, I'm an extrovert. I love to be able to go out and to serve and to smile and to be optimistic and receptive and attractive and nurturing, genuine, enthusiastic. I mean, orange tie guy, a thought investment encourager. But it's interesting because it's energy that all comes from, again, being a thought investment encourager. It's all from your mind. It's this thought. I was watching an awesome. In fact, maybe I'll just pull it up here and show you guys. Figure why not just show it to you, right? It's just an easy, simplistic way to go about doing things. So let's go to LinkedIn, shall we? LinkedIn, the orange tie guy. That's me. All right, let us. Ooh, am I not signed in? I should have thought I was signed in. Huh. I don't think that's me, is it? Nope, that's not me. Huh. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing my screen while I'm doing this. Let's do this. Okay. This is me. So, why is my stuff not saved? Typically, I don't have this issue because I can just log in. Anyway, maybe I should go to my feed on my page. You know what? Is it LinkedIn? Now I've got to look to see if this is the case. Anyway, what it was is there was this, in fact, I'll just pull it up here because I don't want to be wasting a lot of time. I usually have all my social networks and everything all connected to each other, right? And, or it's in the same file. And yeah, it's LinkedIn. And I guess I'm going to have to go back and take a look and see what it is that I actually have my login and password and everything for. But it's interesting because when I'm on there and I'm posting stuff, I see feeds that I follow, you know, stuff that other people post. And so I'll post stuff myself, you know, because it's cool. I like to see what's being posted and or what has been posted. And it's typically optimistic stuff that I'm seeing that's posted. And it's amazing because there's a neurologist doctor, and I don't know, now I'm having an issue. See, I don't use LinkedIn all that much because technically I just don't use it. I look at cool feeds. If somebody has something that's awesome, has a good message that falls in line with the orange tie guy, then I'll repost it or I'll share it. But it was awesome because I looked at something that was about the mind, about energy. And this neurologist, his name's Andrew, I'm going to slaughter his last name. Anyway, what he did is he basically was talking about breathing and about energy. And I watched this on Cesar Millan as well. Cesar, the dog whisperer, he talks about how you need to just, if you're in that frustrating tense, it's like, just let go of it, right? Breathing. And Andrew, Dr. Andrew, whatever his last name, talks about the same exact thing. And he talks about how ultimately just to calm your mind, he says breathing rapidly twice and exhale like. And he says what it does is it actually causes your heart to slow down, a lot less anxious, a lot less stressed. It's just. And it's a part of meditation. You have a lot of people that talk about meditation, a lot of people that talk about, you know, in the morning, how do you meditate, right? Me, I pray and read scriptures, right? When it comes down to it, sometimes I'll read and I'll just sit there. And I mean, you think about Zen, you think about all of these different cool things. Well, one of these amazing pieces that I just pick up is energy, 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 energy. And I thought about Daddy, right, from National Geographics. And I think about this and I think to myself, who's your daddy? I know it's a stupid saying from like I don't know, 90s or something like that, and they're all derogatory about, you know, some dominant, you know, male or something. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about who is one or person that brings in that passive side, that side that helps you to assimilate and to grow and to come and join, to be able to feel wanted and to feel like everything's okay, nothing's wrong. And I mean, again, I'm going to go back to Caesar's daddy, and it's like, who's your daddy? Because this beautiful dog here, and if you've ever seen this show, you know, as big as he is, as butch as he is, as almost intimidating if you were to see him away, right? This look here, he is the gentlest, sweetest, most loving little, you know, I'd say beast of a cuddly teddy bear but in a pit bull. And I mean, when I see him, I just think to myself, I want one. I want a daddy. And it's so awesome because it just teaches so many lessons. So without me just getting and looking at this beautiful dog and thinking, oh my goodness, I got to find me a daddy, and then also, create or make him that passive, loving kind of a dog like Cesar Millan miraculously did. But for me, it's that same energy when it comes to other people. There is so much depression outside. There is so much anxiety, stress that we don't, like, others put on us, or we feel that and then we mirror it. And it's just because we come into sync with them. I had a reality check in my life when I noticed certain people were not healthy as far as their personalities, their behavior, their energy. And it was really their thinking, because you all start from up here. All of it starts from your brain and your thoughts. And when you have this issue or problem, when you have this struggle inside, then all of a sudden what's going to happen is you're going to start to emanate that. You're going to start to, oh my goodness, like, what's going on? I'm confused, or I'm anxious, or I'm confused, like whatever it is, right? Confusion, anxiety, stress, depression, whatever it is. Sometimes people feel overloaded. They're like, I can't do this. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I love just watching the concept that, again, it's an eternal principle. It's this concept of center yourself. Think right now. Think positive thoughts. Emanate peace, and just think peaceful. And it's funny because as I'm watching this show, he's counseling these humans, these owners of dogs, and he's saying, you need to stop thinking about, well, what if he, what if she? It doesn't matter. Stop thinking about that. Think about now. Right now, you have control over you, and you can have that control over the dog as well, because the dog is going to reflect you. But you also have this confidence, because if they sense weakness or doubt or hesitation or anything, they'll take advantage of it. And it's so crazy, because this is the same thing with humans. We do the same thing. Think about it. If I'm on a roll and I'm talking about something or whatnot, and I've had this conversation multiple times, and it's typically around my family, is when we breathe or take a pause, like breathe to, like, pause for even 2 seconds. Like somebody else will intercede. They jump in. It's almost like like I said, a dominant male or female. Well, that's, and it's like, I'm not done. Calm down. Stop trying to take control or whatever, right? Sometimes I'm doing the same thing. Like somebody else is dominating the conversation. I'm like, I want to do that. Now, there are instances, and I always talk about this situation of, first and foremost, what's your role and what's your purpose, right? In that space, in that time, right then and there. Your role and your purpose, flat out. So my purpose here is to listen, or to give advice, or to add to the conversation. If they just want to go off, let them go off. If they don't want information from you, don't give them information. Even if you want to give it, right? It may be that it's not going to be on receptive ears. They're just going to want to bleh. And I got to tell you, I'm guilty with that in my family. I just share information, right? But when people are paying me and I'm coaching someone, I'm there. My role and my purpose is to listen. And as I get that information, to understand where they're coming from, what's the resolution they're trying to get, and say, oh, okay, I know exactly where the issue is. Cesar Millan does it great with dogs and owners, right? For me, it's with other people when it comes to relationships and themselves. It's interesting because we don't understand how powerful we are, how in control we are. Yet we allow the outside influences control us based on the energy or the information or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, when we start to think ahead, we start to freak out, right? Some people will come in and say, you got to think ahead. This is blah, 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 right? They jump in and it's like, no, you don't. Right now. You're alive right now. A jet engine, I always use this jovially, but still it's true. A jet engine can fall from the sky right now, crush your house that you're in or your car, whatever. You're gone. See ya. But right now, you live in the now, right? And I jokingly, live in the now. But it's true. Live right now. Where is your energy at? And are you listening to music or watching movies that get your blood pumping? Like, sometimes that's good. It depends. Like for me, I have certain times and areas of like, do I need that calm, soothing ocean sound, Or do I need that doon, 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 kind of like my introduction music, right? Like, what is it that I'm looking forward to right then and there and what I need at that moment in time? Yet, so many people don't see that there's a distinction between work, between relaxation, between home life, between, hanging out with friends, between meditation or your downtime, right? It's just this concept of understanding. There is a purpose to all of this. Energy is absolutely 100% accurate, as Caesar puts it. I don't typically talk about energy, but it's the same thing. It's your thoughts, it's your mind. It's saying, slow down, inhale. Let your heart rest. Let your brain rest. Push out all that negative energy or whatever it is that's stressing you out. Get it out. And then you can move forward. And I love, again, this concept with Daddy, because he'll go in around other dogs that are barking and yelping and all this other stuff, and he just, like, it's just not a big deal. He doesn't let it affect him. And I'm just like, oh, so many people can learn from Daddy. So for you, you have full control over who you are. As the Orange Tie Guy, my purpose is to be able to help people become thought investment encouragers, or to be a thought investor, if nothing else. Invest in your thinking. Recognize when you need to stop. Take an assessment. Okay. Like, because we don't always have a dog, right? We need something. So you got to find out, who's your daddy? What's your daddy? In the sense of that dog, that passive calm, you see and observe and you're like, oh, I can calm down. Not a problem. For me, I've got a weekly church, right? Go in, and sometimes I'm excited because I haven't seen people in a while or whatever it is, but it's a time for me to meditate, to be able to reflect, to ponder, to look internally. Once a week, I go in and I think, and I'm like, okay, yeah, here's where I'm at. Self-assess. And in fact, I take the entire day and I think to myself, how can I improve? What could I use right now? Here I am. What to do right now? Not later, because there are those moments, whether it's once a week or at the end of the night or something, to plan the next day or plan the entire week. Set those times apart so that you can categorize. It's like me, you can kind of see in the background here, I've got sectioned off things and details, but it's like categorize, separate, focus. Recognize that you are one person, one, and you can do one thing at a time. And with us guys, we're a lot, more effective at focusing and only doing one thing at a time. Ladies, you're a little more blessed than us and can usually multitask a lot more effectively than we can. But still, just one at a time. Just one at a time. And recognizing, guess what? That's not bad. That's a good thing. Own it. Accept it. Cool. And then live it. Just live it. So I would encourage you, if you haven't, honestly, you could probably even YouTube it. I'm sure that's even a possibility. But I would at least, look up, the Dog Whisperer and Daddy and just watch a little bit of that. But I got to tell you, it is amazing seeing that animals are being able to effectively do this, whereas us, we have a harder time, and yet this is an effective thing because we have a lot more abilities than dogs. We think a lot more effectively, or can think more effectively than animals. Yet, do we? Do we take those moments to center ourselves, right? People that are of Asian descent and culture is Zen and Qi, yin yang, balance. And that's what's cool. It's balance, really. How to become spiritually centered. I had a training back in my 20s that was exactly that. How to become spiritually centered. And it's not something elaborate. Again, it goes to Zen. It goes to your inner self, the chi, the energy, everything around you. Anyway, I hope this has been advantageous to the few of you that's watching. But honestly, when it comes down to it, recognize you own it. This is you. If other people are projecting it, you choose to receive it or to not. You could be like, no thanks. Or you could be like, oh, okay, and allow it to affect you. Your choice. I'm Anthony White, the Orange Tie Guy. Hopefully this has been advantageous. It's a little different. I usually post on my Celestial Dating channel, not the Orange Tie Guy. But hopefully this has been beneficial, and hopefully I'll see you next Friday.